chat. We're now live. There we go. Everything's working now. That makes life easier, right? Good morning. So, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. Good morning. Lovely to see you. TikTok. Good morning. Lovely to see you. Instagram. Good morning. Lovely to see you. So it's 2025, as we all well know. The big thing we want to make sure that we're trying to think about at the moment, and the whole idea of us going live a bit more, is we are at the stage now that we're going to the 5.0 version of what I'm doing and what we're doing in and around business coaching, sales training. And now we're at the stage where we can actually start bringing in more people, which is great. So now we're going to get back doing the lives. The reason we stopped doing the lives for 4 or 5 months was, in the nicest way, we were getting so many referrals, but we weren't going out and trying to market to it. So it was almost a bit overwhelming because we had too many people coming through, which sounds like a really annoying problem, but it really was. So now we're at the stage that we're scaling out where we're at. We're actually going to that next level, and we want to bring as many business owners and salespeople along on that journey as well. So the goal is going to be able to drop in with you guys a couple of times a week on the lives, to be able to drop in a bit of knowledge, do Q&As, try and be there to help you. Same with you guys on TikTok. If you want to have questions, you want to pop them in the chat, great. LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. It's always a bit funny doing it on StreamYard. Sometimes the comments come through and sometimes they're a little bit more delayed. So if they end up being delayed, I apologize for that. But please do pop them in the chat. And if you don't get a reply to me, drop me a message in the DMs, and I am more than happy to try and help where we can. And the goal behind it is completely and utterly selfish. I'm a big believer that we can have anything we want in this world if we just help enough other people get what they want. And that's the goal behind what we're doing. This is why when we have the Sales Accelerator program, this is why with Conversations to Clients, this is why the Sales Masters podcast all was set up. And the goal behind this at the moment is to be able to get things moving forward. One of the big parts that we've got at the moment, I genuinely believe, is everyone gets caught up and focused on the rah-rah around our health, which is great. But I think one of the big parts for us is actually focusing in around what we're doing in business. Whether you're a salesperson, whether you're a business owner, it all makes a massive difference on the way we're approaching things. And the reason I bring this up is I was having a conversation with someone on Thursday, or maybe it was Friday. I don't know. And for them to massively increase the amount of results that they've got, it wasn't 150 areas that they needed to work on. It wasn't they had to reinvent the wheel. It was actually 3 or 4 really small areas that they went, if I can change this and I can change that, it's going to make my life easier, but it's going to get my conversions up higher. The analogy I always use, it's a bit like playing football. For a vast majority of people, if you were playing football now and you're having a shot on goal, and every single time you kick the ball, you are just 5% off target, although you are so close to getting the results you want, you're still missing. And a miss is a miss. But the good thing is, if you are consistently really close to target, but you're just missing it, what you can end up doing is getting a bit defeatist because you think this is pointless. This is something that I can't do. This is just the way it is. And I want you to be at the stage where you realize that the small changes that we actually make have a huge impact overall. And for everyone who's coming in now into January, starting in the right way is so important. So we're going to be back here, whether that's on Instagram, whether that's on TikTok, whether that's on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. We're going to try and make sure that we're here at least once, realistically twice a week initially. So if you get to the stage that you're getting a bit stuck on what to do, when to do it, how to do it, what changes you can actually make, this is the place I want you to turn up to. The idea about this is it's live, it's free. So for you guys that are out there, if you're not at the stage at the moment that you've got someone who you're getting coached by, if you don't have a mentor, if you haven't got a trainer, I do think you should have them. Good morning. I genuinely think that you've got to be listening to someone. Now, if you don't believe in what I do, if you don't believe I can help you, if you don't think that I'm the guy to help you, that's okay. Don't watch me. But make sure that you're having someone in your circle consistently every single week that is going to drive you forward. And for so many people out there, they're just listening to so many different people that it's really hard to work out where to go next. By the way, if you're putting questions in the chat on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, I'm going to literally come around to them in a minute. So please do make sure that you put them in there. And I'm going to go around. We've got about 20 minutes today, and then I'm getting out to do my group coaching at 9:30. But I'll come around to in a second. So back on subject. It's really important to have someone that you look at and go, okay, I believe in that person. I want to follow what that person's doing. They're my cheat code. And you've got to work out who that person is. And this isn't me saying that I'm the only person you can listen to. There are hundreds of people around sales and of business coaching that you could listen to help you. The big thing is, don't listen to 50 different people, because although each of those people could help you, if you try and cherry pick a little bit from this guy, a bit from that lady, a bit from this person, and a bit from that person, you're mixing it all together. And you could end up missing out on a really vital part of what you are actually trying to do. And it ends up being a miss. And this is what happens to so many people. They look at it a bit like a buffet, and they're trying to cherry pick what they want to take out of each situation, and they want to do the things that they want to do. And the thing is, with a lot of this, it's not about what you want to do that's going to get you the results. A lot of the time, it's doing the very thing that is actually going to move us forward. So now we're at that stage where we're starting here in January, and you're getting an opportunity to rewrite the rule book for yourself. You're getting to start this year with that clean slate. Now, it's only a couple of weeks, and everyone was all Christmas spirited up, and everyone's chilling out, taking it easy. So we've got to realize one part. If you just had 2 weeks off, you are likely a little bit rusty. You likely have some cobwebs on you. Morning, Paul. You've likely got a few parts of it where you might have a bit of anxiety about what you're doing. You might think, oh, I'm not firing on all cylinders. If that is the case, which for most of us it will be, do something this week, today, that is going to move you forward. Don't wait and let this whole week just pass you by, because you end up creating that as a habit. And the thing we want to be able to think about is going to be, what can I do this week to get me back to the best self? What can I do this week that's going to move me forward? So if you're here on Insta, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, what is the area that you believe is holding you back? Going to come out to questions literally in the next 60 to 90 seconds. What is that area? What held you back last year? What was it last year that was your big sticking point? And I want you to address this in a way of, what was the thing that you could have done better? Not, oh, my industry sucks, or, oh, I just need more leads. No. What is the actual thing that you could go off and do better? Maybe it is objection handling. Maybe it was better objection prevention. Maybe it's getting better at telling stories. Maybe it's getting more deliberate at making the calls. Maybe it's turning up and getting in a better stage of doing it. Someone's just procrastinating. So true. A lot of us, if we just did the very thing that we said we were going to do, when we said we were going to do it, everything would be better. And it's naive of us to think that we're going to be able to just magically change. So it's going to take effort. But anything that's good is going to take effort. Right, I'm going to come around and do some questions. I know there's some here on TikTok, Insta. If you lot have got any questions, pop them in the chat. YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. If you've got any, pop them in the chat. Good morning, Lewis. Okay, so I'm going to scroll to the top and just go through. Morning, TikTok. Yes, first day back. Kieran says, looking to take the business to the next level and take on new staff. What's your thoughts? Yes, 100%. So if you're going to the stage now, but you're going to scale, it depends where you're at. If, for example, you have a business and it's founder-led sales, as in you're the business owner, but you're doing the selling, it is very different than when you bring in a salesperson into the business. You need to be able to make sure that you've got the right training, the right SOPs, the right structure, the right process, all in place. A lot of people, as a business owner, they're really effective in the sales process, but they can't necessarily articulate or train someone else to go and do that very thing in the same way, because they can't explain why they did it that way. They can't explain the little nuances that are different than when they do it. And also, as a business owner, it is different if you are doing the selling than your salesperson. People will treat you sometimes differently because you're the business owner. So yes, taking people on is really good. But there's a couple of parts to this. One, if you press the button and 5 new staff came into your business, 2 new staff come into your business today, what would be the easiest way that they can make sure they're paying for their seat, paying for their role? How can you make sure that they are profitable within the business at the fastest spot? And I'll give you a prime example. If you're looking for salespeople, you can get a Rambo that's going to do everything. They've got to generate their own leads, set their own appointments. They're going to close deals. They're going to do follow-up. But you need an expert in all of those areas. And then it's very hard to be able to see fast activating wins because they're trying to juggle so much. So often it's easier to then get an appointment setter, or just get someone who's going to focus on follow-up, or someone who's just going to close deals, because they've got one job. This is your job. This is where you're making your revenue. This is how we're going to move a business forward. There's some great companies in the solar space at the moment we've been working with, home improvements, recruitment, coaching, and most of them are in the same place. They're doing well, but they want to just hand off the sales process to someone else. That's fine. But you cannot expect a salesperson to get hired to do that for you. You as a business owner need to take the lead and have that built out, so then you can just bring people in. Otherwise, they're only going to put in the sales process the very thing that they actually want to do. They're not going to necessarily do it in the way that's going to be the most effective. But reach out. We'd love to talk to you, Kieran, out there. We've actually got a blueprint. Anyone who wants this, by the way, if you DM me the word video, I've got a 20-minute blueprint video on how to take a business and what you need to make the changes on to be able to then scale and bring in new people. So just DM me the word video. Anyone who's recommending trying to come up as a speaker, we're not doing that today. Okay, James Valbrooks. Hello, brother. What do you do to prepare for a new year? Okay, a couple of things that I end up doing. One, I break it down into my quarters. What do I want to happen in quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4? What do I really want to make sure that I'm getting at the end of the year? So if someone clicks their fingers now and we're on December 29th, 2025, what do I want the business to look like? And then reverse engineering it. I've got to look at what are the areas that are holding me back, what are the areas that are my weakest, what I'm going to get other people to be doing, and what I need to put in place to stop me procrastinating, stop me delaying, stop me not doing this to the best potential. A lot of the time, we're trying to do so many parts in our business consistently forever, when actually we just want to do it for 3 months until we can replace ourselves in the business. So preparing on where you want to be able to go and going out. There's also an 8-step process that I have around goal setting, which makes a massive difference. You have to drop me a DM, but anyone who's putting video in the chat, you've got to go off it and DM me the word video, because I won't get a chance to come through all the comments after we go off it. Sorry. So with an 8-step process for setting goals, you want to go off and set the goal, put a date on it, future sense it, as in today's the 25th of July and I've just achieved X goal. You want to be able to work out who you need to associate with. You need to work out who I need to avoid to hit this goal. the naysayers, the people that pull you down, whatever it will be. Then break it down into your steps. Now, you should be able to do that, but you break it down into the steps so small that the next step you can do today. So it's really, really important to be able to do that. So yeah, that's what we do. And that's what I've done over the last probably 8 weeks. And what you want to be able to get to the stage of is, if you're working day to day right now, get to the stage you're working week to week. If you're working week to week, get to the stage you're working month to month. If you're working month to month, get to the stage you're working quarter to quarter, and then you can move forward from there. Okay, hopefully that helps. Right, next question. Danny asked, do I need a website developer? No, I do not. Thank you. Marine Mart. I work in sales since 26 and done 68K. Nice. Good work. Jobs for students. Okay, so jobs for students. If you want to get into sales, sales is a great industry to get into if you want to just spend the next couple of months learning your craft and really committing. I genuinely believe it. The amount of people that are out there now, if you're a student, for example, and you've got the option of working in a bar at night, working in some office job, or getting in something like sales, sales is great because it can be quite flexible and you can get yourself moving forward far quicker. There's no barrier to entry. And all you need to do is find out what are the products or services that I'd be good to sell, what type of sales cycle I want. Is it fast one call closes? Is it more longer term stuff? For example, I know a lot of people who do door to door. I know people that moved into high ticket closing, appointment selling, all really, really easy to get into without having a massive barrier to entry to make your life easier. Hopefully that helps. DM me if you want any more help. I've lost where you've gone. Ohit said, can I ask you, please? I run an agency, not getting leads. What would you do in 2025? We're really fortunate that we get quite a lot of leads. I think we've got 114 that have come in over the last 15, 16 days. Going live is a really good thing to do. Engaging with other people. Outbound is still one of the best things to do. If you run an agency and you're not getting inbound leads, you could go out, find yourself a data scraper, give them the details of your ideal candidates. So, for example, plumbers around Coventry, for example, that will have their numbers, their names, their contact details and email, and you hit the phones. You could sit there for the next 5 hours and speak to 50 different plumbers. Build a pitch out that's going to dangle a carrot that makes the offer so engaging that people want to know more. Set up a proper appointment and close the business down. If you don't have leads, go out and hit the phones. Easiest things. N6TH. Any advice for struggling with energy levels and motivation? Okay, so when we said earlier about some of the things we've got to look at to avoid, and it's a really good question, so thank you for putting it in. Because you've just had a couple of weeks off, we're going to feel tired today. Your energy might be less. Your energy might be flying, but your energy might be less. Don't beat yourself up. Just stay disciplined. Don't worry about how you think or how you're feeling. Don't worry about if it's not the best energy, you're not as strong as you were before, if your mindset's not right. What can you do this week to dust off those cobwebs and get back to full strength? What do you need to do to realign yourself on your goal? What is your purpose? What is the goal? What are you trying to actually achieve? And then move forward towards it. Building a personal brand is a must. Yeah, 100%. Building a personal brand is good. Do I offer any free first coaching session? So we have, anyone who does want a training, we've got a 60-minute training around sales, objection handling, objection prevention, and lead conversions. If you DM me the word objection on socials, I can send that over to you. It's a 60-minute training that people have paid for, but I'm putting it out there just because it helps you guys to sort of move forward. So drop me a DM with that. Gemma says, how experienced are you in cold outreach? Yes, very experienced. One of my first main roles were doing door-to-door. Then I moved into doing B2B sales, B2C sales. All of those were cold outreach. whether that's knocking doors, cold calling, cold emailing. Cold outreach is one of the easiest ways because it's purely sweat equity. It makes your life a hell of a lot easier. Reach out if you want some help with that. Neil, hi. Are voice AI agents going to replace salespeople soon? I don't think that they are. And here's why. I reckon they'll get banned. I think the big problem we're going to have is the cost for this stuff is going to get lower and lower, meaning anyone could do it. It means everyone will get spammed. And I think there'll end up being some registry on, in the way people put on a TPS. I think a lot of people out there will end up doing it where it'll be, I don't want AI calls, and people will end up signing up to it. I think in 5 years' time, yeah, we might all be screwed. But I think for the next 5 years at least, I think you'll be okay. In the same way, there's people out there now that don't even have websites. So it might take a proportion of the business, but I do believe for the right companies, they'll do really well anyway. And if you're leaning into helping people in the right way, it can actually be a good benefit, not as a replacement. If you think of it another way, imagine if you're a farmer and you've got the horse and plow, you've got one field you can look after. If you had a tractor, you could do 20 fields. AI can help us in that sort of way. Doesn't necessarily need to replace the whole process, but by filling out certain parts, it can make us be a little bit more effective. Drop shipping. What's my take on drop shipping? Okay, so I haven't personally done drop shipping. A couple of people I know that do really well. Elliot Wise and James Demi Trades, and a guy called Loads at LOADS. Check those guys out. They all do really, really well. Okay, cool. There we go. Right, Lewis over on LinkedIn. Would you say there are any benefits to emailing companies as opposed to calling them? Typically, I find people want to get rid of you over the phone, especially gatekeepers. Okay, here's a really good thing to do. If you're spending a huge amount of time doing cold outreach B2B and you're getting caught up with gatekeepers, think about how can I get around gatekeepers? One, you can talk to a gatekeeper and get them around. Or you focus on finding leads and data with direct numbers and mobile numbers. Again, go back to the data scraping side. If you go off to a data scraper who legally does it, and you say, this is my industry, I want sales directors in recruitment with companies of 10 to 50 employees under 10 million in revenue, whatever it's going to be, with direct dials and mobile numbers, they can tell you how many they can find. So now you've got a direct dial list rather than just hitting the gatekeepers, which means you can get more momentum. That's what I would say to go off and do. I still think hitting the phones is one of the best things that you can do. I really do. Right, I think we're about done. Okay, cool. I'm going to go because I've got 25 minutes before we go and do our group coaching. If anyone does want to come along, we do a sales accelerator call on a Monday morning and we have an online academy. So basically I live coach you. But it's more private than doing it here. You can literally DM me and I can send you over a bit of a breakdown on how that works. It's our sales accelerator program. DM me the word SAP, and I'll send you a little link with a video for it. One of the team can have a chat to you as well. And that's it. Go and have a good day today. Again, go out there with great intentions, but focus more on your discipline than anything else today. And I will see you guys later on this week. Speak to you soon. Cheers, guys. Right, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. See you later. Tickety-tock.